In my fund accounting model, I have the investor allocation details on this tab. And we have another tab to show the investor capital account for individual investors. In this video, we're going to print the investor statement separately for each investor. I'm going to bring all the data into one separate file and write our VBA code in this file. This is the investor allocation tab. Instead of have the same percentage for each investor, we make this percentage a little bit different to easily identify the change. We have this tab set up like this, and we will start to pick up the numbers. So first one, we are going to use a double index match to pick up the number from the investor allocations. I'm going to show side by side. I'm going to have two windows. So right now I'm showing the two tabs of the file here. For these capital contributions, we are going to pick up the GP's capital contributions. So right now we make it index, and we are going to pick up all the numbers from here. Formula reference until the end of this total. And we'll make it this entire table. This is the table. We're going to find all our data, and we're going to use F4 and anchor all these numbers. Now we're going to have our first match. The first we're going to match is the capital contributions. We're not going to move the columns. We will keep shifting the rows. We're going to F4. Right now we anchor this column. Now we are going to add the lookup array. And the array is here, the column A here. We need to make sure that we go to 39. Let's go to 39. So we're going to F4 again and F4 again. Make it myself a little bit wrong. And then now, exact match. Now we're going to have our second match is we're going to make sure this is the GP. For GP, we're going to keep shifting to right because we're going to choose the investor type. We're not going to move any row. So we're going to do F4. We anchor this row number. And then we are going to look for our second match is here. Going to make this total. Now we're going to F4 to anchor both. Exact match. This is our number. After this, we just need to copy paste. Every time we're going to pick up the same investor and the different items. Then by the end, we have this 97,000 for GP. And let's go to the left. Yeah, so this is our ending asset value for our GP here. And then the beginning balance right now is 0, so there's really nothing right now. Okay, here is showing the investor name. We actually move this to be here because I want to show the name here. Or we can move to here. It's the same thing. Then we're going to copy paste. So this is the nav for this particular investor LP1. And then we're going to do the total. Total is the same. We're going to do the total here. There's a copy here. And the rest of the other LPs would be the total minus our GP and this particular investor. So this investor statement will be the investor name 1. Because for the purpose of confidential, we will only show the GP value, this particular investor value, and we group other LPs total number. And this is just the total of the entire fund balance for each item here. And then for the management fee, we think GP has 1% of interest of the fund, right? So GP actually is an LP and is also a GP. The allocation here, we show this GP's interest as an LP because GP is the manager of the fund. All the management fee generated from the fund will actually be the income of the GP. GP has a NAV just like the other ones, very consistent. However, if you think about the GP's total NAV, you could consider GP's fee income. We know the GP would have $300,000 management fee income, also the incentive fee income. The total NAV for the GP after all the income is actually 1.236. And I think it will tie. So this is my little checks here to make sure this number ties C41. So this is a calculation from the allocation tab. And then by the end, I have the unfunded commitment for everyone 0. And we assume this fund share price is 1,000 in the beginning. Based on the NAV we have the share price $9,741. So this is a use case of a double index match. We only need to set up one index match formulas and get the entire CAS printer tab ready. I don't need this anymore. Now we're going to set up the IDs. I'm going to delete this for now to walk you through the entire process of setting this up. First of all, we're going to list all the IDs we need to print. We're going to use unique and filter. We're going to get all these ID here. We're not picking up anything blank. And because here is horizontal, and here we're looking for something vertical, right? This one is not going to work. This one shows spells because I have something blocked here already, so it will not show the result. In order to make it vertical, we're going to add a function called a transpose. And we're going to close this. Right now we have all our ID here. After we have all the ID, now we're going to do a data validation. Data here, we choose data validation, and we are going to pick up the area. I already set up this to be N7 and N20, starting from LP here and N20. You can make it just the N12 if your investors are determined no change, or you can make it even larger range. GP here is static because we're going to show the GP value for every investor anyway. Sample invest name 1. This is just my random name here. This is the capital account statement for the investor 1. And then if you see 2, and you will see 2, investor 2 here. It has shows percentage. And then you have investor 3 here, shows here. So you can do this one by one until you see all these, right? What we're going to do now, we're going to show this VBA code and how we can print every single one. We're going to do Alt F, and we will get our code here. We're going to quickly walk through. And we are going to, first of all, set the reference for the key worksheet and ranges. We will set our worksheet here, this capital account statement, and we'll have the range. Pick up the ID from the M1 column. Get it, make it like this way, do it side by side. We're going to pick up the ID from M1. The range of the ID is N7 and N7 here. We don't do anything for GP. GP is static for every investors. And we'll start from LP1. For every particular one, our investor name will be unique to picking up from this G8. And then we are going to make sure all the files we're going to spit out, it's in this folder. You can change the folder if you want. I want to set up the name a little bit unique. The file name will be the workbook name, a capital account statement. So we're going to start to print all these investors. So the micro will pick up LP1, print a PDF. The next will go LP2, will pick all the investor until LP6. And when we done this LP7, because it's blank, it's not going to print anything. And then the entire Excel file will automatically go back to LP1. So this is how it goes. This is just the loop. This is what I said just now. And this is just for naming. Sometimes the investor name may be a little bit strange, and then Excel will not be able to save any names with all these kind of unique symbols. So I exclude all these ones. Our goal is we need to make sure this VBA code will help us print. I need to assign this workbook. I need to assign my micro, and I'm going to print. You can tell I have 6 LP here, so I have 6 LP investor statement. When I open my investor statement, this is the information I got. It's not the most beautiful investor statement, but it shows what it is for. This is our investor 1, and we got all this balance here. We got the additional information for GP, and we have the information we needed here. We would see this investor 3, the PDF here, and it shows 1.4 million NAV. This is just a sample setup. There are many different ways, and each fund, they could be different. Of course, your ERP system generate all the closed numbers every quarter, right? But sometimes maybe there is some estimate. For example, if you want to do NAV estimate, if you want to have an idea of like what this estimate would look like, so you probably have all these capital activities and the fees and the P&L data on hand already, and you just need to plug in this number, then you will have estimated NAV for everyone. If your ERP system is not ready to pick up all the number and generate all the statement, your Excel micro could print this for your investors as estimate if it is requested, right? And another situation is invoices. So for example, you do have your ERP system print all these invoices for all the investors. Some situation, maybe some of the invoices is different case. and they may have a manual adjustment or special request. If this is a group of investors that you have to generate a few of them, so instead of doing it one by one, you could have it set up easily and print. You will be able to generate the same format consistently for a group investor. So this is just an example. And one last thing I'm thinking about how this could easily adjust is I did this to LP5 because I used unique situation here. I have LP5 here. And right now I have two LP5. I'm going to make it LP7. So we have 7 investors. It shows 7 investors. Here I'm randomly generate this name. And then when you run your statement here, you now have a new investors. Now I'm going to delete all these 6 investor statement and print again. Now I have 7 investors here. You can tell the 7. So if I go to the LP7, it is 2.435. And this LP7 here is 2.45. So these are NAV. Each investor has different NAV here based on the percentage of ownership, right? So this is just an example, of course. And here is not even 117. I can change this to be 10% and 10%. So we still have 100% right now. Our investor 7 balance, and each of the balance is showing here. So this is the idea about how you can adjust this template and how you can print a batch of a statement using VBA. I hope this is helpful.